Want to thank our sponsor, Parati's Quality Meats, located in Cranford, New Jersey, serving customers all over New Jersey for the past 50 years. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Coaches Talk presented by the Shore Football Report. And today we have a whole bunch of coaches from the Asbury Park Blue Bishops football staff with the head football coach, Coach Nick Famularo, Coach Chris Demeray, the defensive coordinator, and the receiver and outside linebacker coach, Coach Keith Killag. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show. Awesome. I love it. More than merrier, man. I'll tell you right now, I'm very excited about football. I got a chance to go out the last 2 days and saw 3 scrimmages, 7 teams, 2 teams you guys are playing, and there's some outstanding football players, football teams out in the Shore Conference, and definitely you guys are included in that mix. And Coach Demeray, you saw a lot of football in your time, 35 years. What do you think of the Shore Conference?
Well, Coach, first of all, what you're doing is a great thing. I think it's awesome because the Shore Conference, as far as I'm concerned, has been undervalued. But what you're doing, trying to bring attention to it, the names that have been through the Shore Conference from guys like, Danny Stubbs at University of Miami, Charlie Rogers at Mattawa, went to Mattawa, went to Georgia Tech, from Jason and Kristen Peter at Nebraska, to Nosha Marino at Georgia. We can go on and on. Chris Barnes at Syracuse. I'm sure I'm slighting some people, but yeah. The Shore Conference is very undervalued, but boy, when you get a player from here, you get a great one.
Awesome. Now, the head football coach, Coach Famularo. Coach, I'm going to get a chance to brag about you a little bit. All right? So I hope you don't have a problem with it because there's a lot to brag about with you. You're a success story. And you being such a young coach, I have so much respect for you getting that job at the young age of 25 years old. This is your second year in the Asbury Park as the head football coach. Now you're 26. You're a little older. How much easier is it for you the second time around than the first time around?
I would say much easier because last year, it was COVID.
It's a bad word, yes.
Very challenging. What makes it coming easier my second year is the coaching staff. The coaching staff, they helped me tremendously. From the offensive coordinator, from my defensive coordinator, from my assistant coaches, from the trainer. They all helped wonderfully. So it's just a great camaraderie we have in Asbury.
Coach, the one thing I'm going to say about you that I really respect, and you being so young, is that you're giving a lot of respect to other people all the time. You always talk so highly of your players, your coaches, your administration. Says a lot about you because, nowadays everybody likes to talk about me, me, me. You always talk about we, and that's a good thing, a nice trait you have, and you have a bright future in Asbury Park. You really do. And I know you're excited about this season. I know you are, man. Especially after your scrimmage you just had the other day, right?
Yeah. We got tough kids. We got some tough kids.
I know you do.
Very tough and physical.
A bunch of them are on my watch list that I'm going to be presenting next week, and I'd love to hear more about them later on in this talk. But right now, Coach, let's talk about you, except you're going to talk about you. And this is called the process. And I want to hear how you became the head football coach, but from your early stages as an athlete. What made you want to go to be a head football coach back in the day when you were 12, 13, 14 years old, first starting football? I want to hear anybody who helped you on the way because we all know you won the interview. You won the interview there, but your resume is all the stuff that you were when you were a young kid. So let me hear how you got to be a head football coach at Asbury Park, Coach.
It started at a young age. I started playing football here. I think I'm 03. I believe I was 8, 7 years old. Started playing football here. I had great coaches in the youth level who made me love the game of football. From Saran Davis, Tron Gofar, Hakeem Young. Them guys helped me when I was young, and I molded and got into the game of football. I started loving. We started winning, competing, and when we winning, we all loved that. So I got around the kids. It was fun. So I went on through Asbury, went to high school here, played, won a couple state championships. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game of football. Went to school. I went to a prep school, Milford Academy.
Yeah.
I went there, then went on to South Carolina State. It was difficult, football and managing school. So I got away from football. But I always stayed tied to Asbury. Always went to every game, made sure I was at the games. Don't miss a Neptune Asbury game since I was in diapers. like just an Asbury kid.
Mm-hmm.
Opportunity came. I think they had the postings. I just heard little rumors. I put my name in the pot.
Good.
I put my name in the pot, and it became official. I was like, whoa, like it's time to really jump in. First thing I did, I start calling coaches, see who could help. Coach Calais, Coach Demarest, Artizone, Rob Ward, brought in Calderon with me, Coach Davenport. I said, listen, I need y'all guys because I believe in the staff, having a great staff around me to build. And I know what kind of talent is in Asbury. I came here, born and raised, and I believe these kids could get out. So I jumped into the pot, applied, and it came. It happened. I was very excited. And the guys that I brought with me, I'm very excited. That's how I got into this journey with coaching. Everybody dreamed to coach their hometown, and it came to me very fast.
Well, on behalf of the Shore Conference coaches, welcome to the fraternity. You love Asbury Park. I love when you talk about your community so proudly, and you do that on the phone. So not just because you're on the camera, you really, really love your community, Coach, and that says a lot about you. It really does, Coach. Let's talk a little bit about your assistants too. I want to hear a little bit about Coach Kille. How did you become a coach on the staff here? Tell us a little bit about how you came about to Asbury Park.
Well, actually, I started back in 2007 with Coach Sophie Kanik, and was an assistant on the staff 07 to 08, 09. So we were 33-3 with 3 state championships.
Great
my first
run.
3 years, I said, this stuff is easy. We're going to win championships every year. And then I went on a 10-year drought before I got another one. But I learned real quick. But I learned, I learned by doing, and I started at the bottom, and I worked my way up. At one point, if you remember, Coach, I was actually the head coach at Asbury Park in 2013. So kind of worked my way up through, the ranks, and then, had some kids and some other responsibilities, and, stepped away for a little while and came back and, worked with multiple coaches. But Coach Famularo asked me to come out when he got the job, and I said absolutely, I would love to. His story is great.
Yeah.
Hometown kid. He played for us. He was there. Many of us had the opportunity. Actually, I wasn't there his senior year, but a couple guys on the staff actually were. His offensive line coach, Coach Ward, was there. Coach Artizone, I believe, was the head coach. And, we're now assistants for his staff. So there's continuity there. We've all been around each other for a long time. We all know the system. We all kind of speak the same language, and we know our kids. We know, we have great kids in Asbury Park. A lot of the time they get a bad rap, but they're great kids. They're phenomenal, not just on the field, but off the field. Once you get to know these kids, they're, they understand that, if you're there for our kids, they'll be there for you.
Yeah.
They understand that, you put in the time and effort, and you're there for them. You show up every day for them, and they'll show up every day for you. It's a matter of respect. And, I like people at the Shore to know that the kids in Asbury Park are great people, not just athletes. Cool. They are great people. You just need to give them a chance. You get to know them, and they trust you, you'll have them 100%.
That's awesome. I love the fact that you've been coaching at Asbury Park in the past, and you're here with the staff and all that. Coach Fam, it says a lot about you that you were in high school where you're now the head football coach. And, these 17, 18-year-old kids, if you told them, hey, your actions is going to affect you later in life, they look at you like, yeah, whatever. So whatever you did, you didn't tarnish your image at all, because most times some people are going to tag you as, oh, he was a goofball, or you can't trust him. And now when you're an adult, like you are right now, they just wouldn't hire you. So it says a lot about how your upbringing of you becoming a head coach here, because your past, you did it the right way. You really did. So credit to you. Now, Coach Demarest, you're a different story. 35 years coaching, and I've known you through the college ranks and high school. I see you as a college coach. So forgive me if I'm looking at you a little different, but I've always seen you as a college coach through the years. Your experience you're bringing to Asbury Park, how excited are you coming to the staff at Asbury Park?
Well, I'm a kid from Keyport, New Jersey, and people from Keyport understand Asbury. It's a very similar town. They've played a lot of memorable games against each other. My father, Jay, was a long-time Shore Conference coach, started out at Keyport, then Monmouth Regional, and the first time athletic director and head coach in Homedale when it opened. So I have a lot of history with the Shore. But I also, like you said, did a lot of college coaching. And unfortunately, I was able to coach for this man, Bobby Bowden.
Yeah.
And obviously, I was just down at his funeral in Tallahassee this past weekend. And the people from all walks of life that were there that were represented is amazing.
Wow.
It just goes to tell you the kind of guy he was. And I learned a lot. And, one thing about Coach is that he always said, before you make a decision, pretend it's your son that you're making the decision on, whether he made a mistake or what have you. And I've always taken that with me. But I enjoy Asbury. Asbury's a lot like Keyport, believe it or not.
Mm-hmm.
It really is the same kind of hardworking people. And I enjoy the kids here. They work extremely hard. And I'm just happy to have a chance to help Coach Nick and be a part of the Asbury family.
That Bobby Bowden really hit home to everybody in the country. I remember the first time and last time I ever talked to Coach Bowden. Never talked to him before. Coach Coley, Coach Coley, he calls me up. He says, we're going to check out your tight end, Jared Darmstadter. He goes, what are you doing the next couple hours? I'm like, well, where are you? He goes, I'm in Florida right now. No biggie. I'll just fly down. I have a couple hours to spare. I said, what? He goes, that's normal for us. So he shoots over, comes to the school, stays for like 2 hours, and then he leaves. They offered him. Florida State offered Jared Darmstadter 2009. It was, I think, his next to last year. So a couple days later, I talked to Bobby Bowden, and I was like, are you guys really interested in him? He's like, I would have never if I sent Coach Coley over to your school and offer you, that means we're interested. So in other words, his offer was solid with that. And it was one of those things I was like, wow, I'm talking to Coach Bowden and just one of those people, Coach, that just kind of, you cherish every word they say, and that. And, Coach, I hope you're doing that too with these two guys. A lot of experience as coaches. So listen, you keep taking notes. I know you're the head coach and all that, but we're always learning as coaches off each other. It really is something that is unique, having a staff like this and you being a young guy and having a very good football team, which we're going to talk about in a couple minutes. All right, coaches, I'm going to rip this mask off. All right. The COVID just brings back bad memories from us coaches. Negative stuff, pods, phase 1, phase 2. Oh my God. Coach, I couldn't even imagine in your first year of coaching, you're being told that there are pods in phase 1. And in phase 1, let me remind you, no football being touched. Also, nobody more than 10 people could be in a group. May I add, in football, we play with 11. You know that, guys. So anybody on these committees that were making these rules up were not football guys. They weren't, right? Would it have hurt if they put one more person in our pod? One more person? I wanted to ask a doctor, what is 11 going to do to a pod more than 10? Is it really that bad? But enough about that. That's all the negative stuff from coaching football. I want to hear something positive. You guys learned last year, wherever you were coaching. I want to hear something positive with the COVID.
Well, Coach, I'll jump in. Last year was tough, but I did hear that you were playing your final game at Barnegat over at St. John's.
Yes.
So I grabbed my son at the time, who was 11, and we lived nearby, and I said, hey, let's go watch Coach play his last game. It's going to be special. So we went over there. We watched the game. We were fortunate enough to get in, and you guys, your team played with their hearts, man. They played their lights out for you. And I told my son, watch how his team plays for him. They're going to play their hearts out. And then I said after the game, watch the players down in the end zone when Coach walks down there, how excited they're going to be. Yeah. And it was special, Coach. It was a special game for you. I know it was special.
Well, they were happy I was finally gone. That's what they were.
I tell you what, but you bring a lot of history. I know you said you worked with many different coaches in the Shore, and I just wanted my son to be able to see that, how special that was. And it was very great for you and great for the Shore, actually. But,
well, thank you.
That was one positive thing we brought from it.
Well, thank you. That was a special time with my family and the players. It's really nice when there's never an issue and everybody's hugging you and it really meant something, especially after a game, because you have to put fires out all the time. Like so-and-so didn't catch the ball more than 6 times. This guy's upset. When you have closure like that, it really was something special. Coach, you got something to add about something positive with the COVID?
I got something to add. The positive thing I got out of COVID last year was I was glad them seniors got it opportunity to play their senior year football. They went out and got some games in.
Oh,
I know some kids played 4 or 3 games. I was happy my seniors that got 6 games last year.
Mm-hmm.
I was happy that we got games in last year because it was a misfortune because there was no spring season at last March.
Yeah.
So I was just happy that we had football. So I was happy our seniors got out there last year.
Every time the phone rang, Coach, everybody would get nervous. What was being, like every time the phone rang, it's like, oh, who is it? What's going on? You just thought you were getting just a burden of bad news. It really was terrible. Coach Kill, like, give me something positive that you learned from the COVID.
Actually, what a multitude of things. Actually, I turned negative into a positive in a lot of ways, personally and professionally. But the one thing that stood out when you talked about it was really focusing on mental health. A lot of people had issues with, this was a whole new thing. The world shut down. Nobody ever did this before. So, both myself, my own children, and our team really taking care of people. Let's worry about up here first. Make sure that everything's okay.
Good point.
With the person, let's worry about the person first. Then we worry about football. It's great to have football, but we had to slow down and hit the pause button for a second and worry about each other, and make sure everybody's okay. And that really stuck with me as to into this year. Like, you know what? There's a time and a place. But we got to make sure that the person is the priority before the player.
You're right. Mental health is very, very important, not just for last year, but all the time. You got to make sure kids are right. We have a rule that when you come onto the football field, we say all your problems leave. All your problems leave. So through the years, you could go drive by a football field and you might see a player on the football field at night. Something's bothering them. It's something you do. If you see Coach Davis on the field, same thing. And I'm on that field a lot. Right? But I told our kids this: you're entertainers. We need to do the right stuff, wearing a mask so we can wear the helmet, so we can perform, so all the problems in the world are gone for everybody that can watch us, live stream and all that, and play the game that we love. And when you're in that football field, there's never an issue. We always say that. All right, Coach, we got here the 2021 Asbury Park High School football schedule on the left, and then on the right-hand side is the newly formed Patriot Division, which has a bunch of new faces all together, making a Patriot Division. So, Coach, I want you to take the floor and talk a little bit about your 2021 football schedule.
This year our schedule looked like we got basically a Group 2 schedule. This year we opened up because RBR, Red Bank Regional at home. Good team. Shane going back home they should be well prepared. Then we go against Shore as Kaz. Like this Kaz. Shore is Shore. So we gotta be on our toes. Kaz, legendary coach. Always going to be difficult. Then we go play Borough. Borough is Borough. Triple option team. It's going to be difficult. Another difficult game we're going to have to roll into. Then we go out and play Jackson Liberty. I don't know too much about Jackson Liberty. I watched film with them. Never played Jackson Liberty. I've been to like 3 games in my past 4 or 5 years at Liberty. But it should be a tough game. They're Group 3 or 4 school, I believe.
4.
It'll be a tough game.
Yep.
Then we go to Barnegat. Barnegat always going to be tough. Group 2 school. Coach Davis, he left a gold mine.
Keep coming with the compliments. I didn't stop you. Keep it going.
He left a gold mine over there, so it's going to be a good game. Then after that, we got Manchester. Manchester, we got a good quarterback. I believe his name is Savion Myers, I think.
Yep, Savon. Yep.
It's going to be a difficult game. I think Coach Dimmers, he had his hands full that week. So then we got Neptune. Of course, Neptune rivalry back at home on Thanksgiving this year. We are very looking forward to that game. Yeah,
Coach, that takes me to where I want to ask you one thing about that Neptune Asbury Park rivalry. Now you played in it, you coached in it, you've been around it. How exciting is it for both communities, that Thanksgiving Day game?
Very exciting. It's number 1 rival in the Shore Conference, in my eyes. Number 1 rival in the Shore Conference. Last year we beat them in the first time in 11 years.
Wow.
We're trying to keep that going. This rivalry is very historic. You go on YouTube, look at the 98 game. It's packed in Asbury. Wall to wall, over 10,000 fans, I believe it was. The rivalry always been strong.
Coach, do they share the same youth football program too?
No, we do not. No,
Okay.
we do not. We got our own youth program. I
Good.
believe they still have a youth program as well.
Good. I didn't, and I thought I might have heard that, but yeah, Coach. I know those games are packed, and you throw out the records, and it's just pure emotion, and hopefully after the game you could shake hands and share a lot of memories. Later on in life, that's what it's all about. High school football. So, Coach, on the right hand side now is the Patriot Division. Now, in the past, we used to call it the A South, B South, C North, C South. We don't do that. We give it names, Patriot, and us coaches are like, oh, that's the name now. So they just gave you a division, and they group a bunch of teams together, generally by group size, which isn't what they did this year with you guys. You being a Group 1 school, you're playing up. You are playing up, which is a lot of PowerPoints, but this is very competitive division. Would you say this is competitive?
Yes, it is very competitive. Nobody's a sleeper. You can't take nobody lightly in this division. Barnegat, Liberty, Manchester, Borough Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Can't. You don't know what to expect. You got to coach. And every week you have to go in and coach. You got to be able to coach.
Coach,
There's
everyone.
Games. You got to be able to coach.
Every one of these teams are so excited about this season. Every one, and it's great in the beginning, but now when you're getting into your scrimmages and it's still going, how excited you are. You got to start believing. As a social media guy, I got to start believing they're going to be pretty decent. Looking from the bottom of the list, you got Shore Regional, Coach Kaz, legendary Hall of Fame coach, year in year out, puts a great product out there. You got Point Borough, which is been playing a pretty tough schedule last 2 years, the Wolves and all that stuff. And now they're playing where they usually have played in the past, and they're going to be very good this year. You got Manchester with all their skill kids back, and like you said, Savon Meyer and a whole bunch of other guys that are going to be back. And Jackson Liberty is a big Group 4 school that has a lot of PowerPoints in it, and they usually have big, strong-looking kids. And Barnegat's had one losing record in the last 11 years. I mean, it is what it is. And Asbury Park, as we're talking right now, is very excited about the football season, and I can't wait to hear more about it in the next couple minutes. But you put them all together, Coach, that's good. And don't forget, other people are comparing you to the other teams too, of how great the division is. So it's a compliment to your program. I guess it's a compliment for everybody to be in this group. It's hard to pick. Coach Demarest, would you think this is, looking at all these traditional teams that you've seen in the past, I mean, I guess it's hard to pick out who's going to be the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 team in this division, right?
Yeah, I do. I think what they did last year, we were fortunate enough to beat Neptune. We were fortunate enough to beat Matawan, and they needed a team from our division to move up, and I think they picked us.
Yeah.
But you gave me a little bulletin board material for my players, Coach.
Why?
You picked Asbury. Only thing top position groups is receivers. So I told the players that Coach Davis only picked us as wide receivers. That's it. Forget our D-line or linebackers or secondary. We're no good. I said these other teams are better, but I'm only kidding. But no, you're right. It's a tough division, and we'll be prepared each week, and our kids will play lights out. So that's what I'm excited about.
I noticed a lot of people have me as a target now with that. I better just keep my mouth shut. But there's a lot of good football teams and football players, and of course football coaches in the Shore Conference. Coach Famularo, can you do me a favor and talk about your football assistant coaching staff? Now, they are the glue to the football program. They really are, and they're going to carry you to the promised land, just like they do everywhere else. The assistant coaches are the glue to every single football program. So let's hear the list of names, Coach.
This year, coaching staff, I'm going to let them say their own names. We got Coach Collette, receiver coach, and outside linebacker coach. He's been in part of Asbury for 15 years. We got Coach Demarest, defensive coordinator. He's been part of Asbury for the past 2 years. We got our offensive coordinator, Lamar Davenport. Another graduate from Asbury.
He was a quarterback, right?
Say it again.
Wasn't he the quarterback?
No, he's receiver.
Oh, he's the receiver. You're right.
With the Monmouth University.
Yep, you're right.
He's calling the offense. He's been calling offense the past couple of years
here. Good.
Great kid guy, Asbury guy. Then we got Ryan Ward, O-line, D-line. He's been coaching here since I was a baby. Great with the O-line, great with the D-line. That's why he's been around here for so long. We got Matt Artizone, my former head coach. Matt Artizone, he helps out tremendously with the offense. He coaches the quarterbacks and also helps out with the D-line and the linebackers. It's a great staff I have here, man. Young coach I added last year, Isaiah Calderon, Neptune guy. Brought him apart. It was hard. And people, they was pissed off at me. He was pissed off at him. Brought him as well. He's a special teams coordinator. Isaiah Calderon. He took over last year with special teams. I did a great job. So I said, look, I need you back this year to do special teams.
Good.
Tremendous job. I got a great staff here. I got volunteers that also come out and help from time to time. Just got a great staff here in Asbury. Nothing much you can ask for.
Coach, one thing I noticed when coaches are talking about their assistants, they grin. They smile, right? And you got a lot to smile about with these two guys here too. I know that. That's great, man. That's great that you're having fun too, coaching with your staff. It's important. It's important. Now, I always joke around with the other coaches who are a lot older saying it's important to have younger coaches in the office because they keep it live and bubbly and kind of make it fun for the veteran coaches. So I'm going to ask the veteran coaches, how is it to have a younger head coach? Is he kind of keeping it fresh and keeping it the vibes up and all that? Is he doing it that way? And maybe his choice of music is a little different than guys like we like, right? Coach Demers, right? Does he like the kind of music the kids like? Because I can't stand it with the music that my young coaches like. They don't, we don't like it. So how is Coach Famularo with keeping? Is he always this positive? Always this positive.
Yeah, he's definitely the leader. He's the one that steers the ship. He's the captain. There's no doubt about it. And he does a great job with our kids, connecting older, younger, etc. I'm a little older, but I feel young. So I'm right there with him. So it doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying.
There's no doubt that he's the leader of this team.
All right. Coach?
Coach Famularo, he is great. He's got a lot of energy. That's what I love about working with him.
Mm-hmm.
He brings it, and he's not afraid to play the music. He knows what's going on with it. I'm like, is this new? This is cool. I like it. I'm into music, but I don't stay. Those guys keep me current between them and my 10-year-old son. I'm like, okay, this is cool, but himself, Lamar, Ike, those guys are the younger guys on the staff, and they all know what's hip. We show up. We've been doing the football thing for a while, and it can get to be a grind after a while, and to have everybody that so a bunch of good people as well. The staff. We get along. We can have a laugh here, here and there, and be serious when it's time to do so. So
the music.
I'm looking forward to it in that way as well.
I see you giggling over there, Coach, when you're talking music. So I don't do music. I don't do the soundtracks before a football game. I let the coaches do it. Well, I let my young coaches do it, right? So my young coaches got it, and they put it up there. I go in there playing it. Said, did anybody check this music? Yeah, it's okay. It's good. Like, are you sure? Yes. As long as you just don't play number 7. 7? What do you mean? Well, after 6 and 7. I go, what song is playing right now? Shut it off, right? They were on number 6, and it was getting down. So thank God we didn't get to 7. I was a little nervous about what number 7 would be because my head would be on a platter if it wasn't something that was very good. But yeah, music's a little different for the old school and the newer guys. So I'm curious to hear the music one day. So that you like to hear, Coach. That's great, man. Your coaching staff is very impressive. You got a lot of great mix of young guys, alumni, veteran coaches, guys that have been there, done it, former head coaches. That's a good staff, Coach.
It's nice too, Coach. He brings the family atmosphere. I'm able to bring my son to practice whenever I want or to games, and he's there. Coach Kill had his children here today. So, it's just fantastic that way as well because, when you get into coaching, you lose sometimes your family. But when you can bring them to practice, coach allows it to happen, that's great.
Oh, yeah, it's great stories for your kids to talk about. They were at practice with Daddy and all that stuff. And, yeah, I love that traditional stuff. Coach Famularo, now we get to talk the 2021 Asbury Park football team. This is where it gets real exciting. But before you go on, just tell us what you run offensively, defensively, and then let's hear about those exciting kids that you can't wait to talk about. Go ahead.
Offensively, we're spread team, spread multiple. Defensively, Coach Demers, he can tell you we run defensively.
Yeah, I say we're more of a 3-4 team. We're very similar to the places I recruited for a long time down in Dade County, Miami. We're very similar to Liberty City and Overtown teams. If I try to hinder the players, it doesn't work. You got to turn them loose, let them go play football.
Yeah.
It's from the fundamentals of the game, let them go do it. So I find that we're better off in a 3-4 than we are in a 4-3.
Cool. Good. Now let's hear about those great players that we were talking about before we got on the air.
We got some. See the Asbury Park. So we got some great athletes. Offensively, we got Jason Brown. He back at quarterback. He's a 2-year varsity starter. Junior year.
I feel like he's been there 5 years, man. He started as a freshman, and I mean, he's only a junior, and he's one of the top players in the Shore Conference. Boy, you are some lucky guy, man. Right? How big is he now?
He's about 6'4", 6'5".
Wow.
Tall. He got a great arm. He looked tremendous.
You don't have to tell me I played against him. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, freshman. Oh,
yeah. I know how good he is. He's six. He's that big. Oh, he's a good-looking college prospect, and only a junior. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yep. Got him at quarterback. We got a fullback. We got sophomore kid, Aquan Crawford. He's tough as nails. At running back this year, we got Jashawn Carter. He's going to be something special. He's going to be a junior this year.
Mm-hmm.
At receiver, we got a 2-year starter coming back, Lydell Brown.
Yeah.
He's going to be good as well.
Going to be. He's good now. Yeah.
Yeah. He's just good. Kid, good. At the other receiver, we got another senior, Jamor Ellis, explosive. Up front on the line, we got a left tackle, a junior, Darren Bako. Got some time at left tackle last year. At guard, we got Drake. He's going to be a junior this year. Elijah Drake. He stepped up tremendously this year.
Good.
Right now at center, we got Fakir Hercules. He's a sophomore. He's going to be good for us. At right guard, we got Ford. This kid is a starter last year. I believe he's like the second year playing football.
Wow.
He's a beast. He's a beast. At right tackle, we got our senior captain, Joshua Handy. He's coming back. He's a starter from last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's our offense. We should be good offensively. We're going to be good. Defensively, we're going to be good too. At safeties, we got Nasir Austin.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
He's an athlete. Just definition of an athlete. That's him. Yep.
Yep. He's going to be special back there. Other safety, we got Raleigh Stevens, sophomore, special kid. Coach, remember that name, Raleigh Stevens. Going to be special back there at safety. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be a sophomore. He got some time last.
How big is he?
Say it again.
How big is he?
He's probably 5'10". He's 5'10", 5'11"ish. He got some time last year as a freshman at corner. I believe he started 3 games last year at corner, just because how hard he worked. He's a hard worker.
Mm-hmm.
Kid, he can tell what to do. He's going to do it. He's coach, no coach.
Cool.
That's the safeties. At corner, we got Jamor Ellis, senior, Lydell Brown. They both back at corners. My 2 inside backers. We got Aquan Crawford, sophomore, tough as nails. Dante is another inside backer, tough as nails. We got tough kids this year. They all tough, physical. They want to get after it. And at D lineman, we got Joshua at the one end. We got Darren Baker at the nose. We got Ford at the other end. We're looking good. Outside backers, we got Carter on the outside. Other outside backer right now is fighting for the starting spot out of Deshae and Xavier. But we got some tough kids this year. Tough, coachable kids. That's all I can ask for. Demers gets after them. I get after them. Coach Kalea, Artisan, Rob. We all get after these kids and they're coachable. There's no lip back. There's no yes coach, no coaches. We got coachable kids. They all tough.
It sounds like a makeup of a very positive season, I would say. Coach, what are your numbers like at a Group 1 school today?
My numbers is, we get to 30. This is a positive year.
That's okay. All right. It's just interesting because you'll be playing in a division that might have different range of numbers, right? And all that stuff. But 30 is a good number for Group 1, I would say. It really is. But again, it's what kind of kids you have. So you can have 30 or really 30 dudes. And, we played against teams that had 25 kids, and boy, they put a whooping on us. I'll tell you that, because it's who you got. It's who you got.
Numbers don't really matter to me. I don't say it doesn't matter. I take the toughest. If we got 15 tough kids out there, let's play football.
Yeah.
It's Asbury Park, so that's how we strive for.
I love that. I love that stadium that you guys play in, man. Boy, that is so unique. Like, you look at it, looks like the Rose Bowl. You get in there and it's kind of intimidating. Well, maybe not to the kids. To somebody like me, it's like, holy smokes, this is great. But it's awesome. You got such a lot of great things going on, Coach. Knock on wood. With this thing right here. Hopefully, you don't have to wear it. I want to thank you for coming on the show, all of you guys. I appreciate it. Tough time right now. We're in between all your scrimmages and practices and all that stuff. But I think it's important that everybody, especially your program, gets to hear about Asbury Park. It's very, very important for that, Coach. Thank you for coming on the show. And if there's anything you guys need, you contact me, theShoreFootballReport.com. I'm a .com guy now. Pretty big, huh? It's pretty big. I have a .com in my name now. This is awesome. So awesome.
Coach Davis, I appreciate it. This is a great thing for the Shore Conference.
It is a great thing. We got great people out there, and it's a game. Remember that. It's a game. We're all on the same side, in the game of life. I really believe that. And I think that last year kind of proved it, that it was very important that we understood that, the wins, losses are great, but we got to appreciate the game of football and respect what's going out in the real world. And these kids right now need us to be strong, and we have a bunch of strong leaders out there like yourselves, really do. So, all right, enough of me talking. I can't wait to post this tonight. It'll be up tonight, Coach, around 8, 9 o'clock, and spread it around your whole program. You hear me?
Yeah, thank you, Coach, for having us on. Thank you very much. And anything we could do, like Coach Jimmers, Coach Blake said, we'll help. We'll come to a practice, a scrimmage. We'll come to the first game against Red Bank. Just put the platform.
So I have the green light to come to some of your games.
Yeah.
Looking at your schedule, I think I'm going to be at a couple of your games, because I usually like to go game of the weeks. You got some games where, because what you're bringing to the table too is going to be very circled as big games. Really,
Coach, if you're coming to a game ahead of time, let me know, and I might be able to carve out some space for you upstairs in the booth inside to keep you nice and warm if you need me.
Wow.
We might want him on the field so we can coach.
You don't want
wherever you want to be. If you let us know ahead of time, I'll make it happen, because I usually set up upstairs, and I kind of direct traffic there before a game, and so if you let me know, you get the VIP treatment. Don't worry.
I like that. Now I feel important. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon, man. All right, a lot of football out there. I can't wait to see you guys in action.
Thank you, Coach.